Hey, thank you for joining me at Make It Good. My name's Alex. I have a little visitor for this video. This is little Faye, who Vicky and I are fostering for a little bit. She had a big couple of days at the vet, so she's kind of tuckered out, and I felt bad just kind of leaving her in a different room. So she's going to be kind of chilling out on my belly for this video. We'll see if she wakes up. She kind of chilled out or purring a little bit, so hopefully she won't mess with the lav mic at all. Anyway, as you might have noticed from the title of this video, we have a new batch of announcements from Criterion Collection, so I thought I'd go over those real quick. So the first one that we have is by Vim Vendors. It's Spine 490, and that's Wings of Desire. This is the movie about an angel who wants to find a more meaningful way to connect with the humans that he watches over. It's kind of a romantic film, but one of the main reasons I'm interested in it is because of Peter Falk, who makes a cameo appearance in the movie. I don't know who his character is. I've actually never seen the movie. I don't know, just kind of excited when Peter Falk is in a movie. You know, Princess Bride, The In-Laws. In fact, I've been considering getting the Cassavetes collection in the next sale, the next flash sale, just because of his work with John Cassavetes. So this really is just a 4K upgrade, which we are seeing more and more every month. I've got a feeling this is going to be a constant thing as they're just updating their catalog and, you know, adding more films to the format. I would like to see some more of the DVDs get upgraded, but we'll get into that in a little bit. Especially with the next one. The next one is Spine number 38, and that's Seijun Suzuki's Branded to Kill. So Branded to Kill, another movie that I'm interested in checking out. In fact, Seijun Suzuki, he is completely on my radar, and I don't have any of his films in my collection, which I do want to change. And I'm glad they're updating this one. This seems to be like the Seijun Suzuki film to have. Tokyo Drifter is another one that I would like to pick up, but there's other films that have only been released on DVD in the collection. Youth of the Beast, Gate of Flesh, Fighting Elegy. He's got a film in the Eclipse collection, Nikatsu Noir. So it seemed a little strange that they were updating a Blu-ray, especially one so early in the collection, all rated 4K with all these other entries. But there could be, you know, reasons why they haven't. Maybe they don't have the rights. They don't have 4K rights. Maybe they only have DVD rights to that. So those are the 4K upgrades. I think, you know, some folks might be disappointed that out of the 5 releases, we are only getting 3 new entries. You know, it is what it is. I think it gives collectors like me personally a chance to start catching up without feeling like it's a never-ending struggle because of how many entries keep getting added. But I also understand those who feel as caught up as they want to be on the collection being a little disappointed. You know, and I definitely feel for the folks who are a little distraught with the amount of entries being added every month. So the next entry into the collection is Spine number 1179. It's directed by Peter Bogdanovich, and that's Targets, starring Boris Karloff. Not only starring Boris Karloff, but starring Boris Karloff basically as Boris Karloff. He's playing an aging horror movie icon by the name of Byron Orlok, which I'm pretty sure is a mashup of Lord Byron and Count Orlok from Nosferatu. This film touches on issues, not just, you know, the life of an actor who is kind of, you know, figuring out his place as he's aging and may no longer be relevant, but also touches on issues regarding mass shootings and, you know, gun control, which, regardless of what side of the argument you fall on, is a very topical issue today. So it's really interesting that we're getting this entry in now. There are a couple notable special features on there. There's from 2003, so this, you know, these were probably available from a previous release. We have an introduction as well as an audio commentary track with director Peter Bogdanovich. There is a new interview with Richard Linklater, and then we've also got an interview with production designer Polly Platt. And we've got an essay by critic Adam Naiman, and excerpts from an interview with Peter Bogdanovich and Eric Sherman from Martin Ruman's 1960 book, The Director's Event. Interviews with 5 American filmmakers. So overall, pretty standard Criterion Collection special features, things you would expect. So I am actually pretty interested in checking out this film, not just for Boris Karloff or the fact that this is, I think, only the second entry in for Peter Bogdanovich in the Criterion Collection. I think the only other one they had is the America Lost and Found collection. He's got a film in there. If I remember right, that is Last Picture Show. For a movie that came out in 1968 to still be relevant, or to, for very unfortunate reasons, become relevant again, I would kind of like to see what was being said back in the late 60s about this topic. I think if you are interested in just sort of the discussion, this might be worth checking out. All right, so for the next entry, we have Petite Maman, which is spine number 1181 and is directed by Celine Sciamma. You may know her. She directed A Portrait of a Lady on Fire, which, as everyone may know, has been a widely celebrated and very, very welcome entry into the Criterion Collection. So the movie deals with death, family, but also time travel, which particularly interests me because, it's, as an atypical time travel film, where, it's dealing with an entire issue. Time travel just happens to be, kind of the method of getting through your story. So this movie, a young girl meets another young girl while her family is dealing with the death of her maternal grandmother, and comes to find out the young girl she meets is her mother. And so there's, this bonding happening, and this young girl dealing with such, a major life event, and how families sort of deal with this tragedy together. So, it's a movie. I don't know how it was never on my radar, but I would love to check it out. This movie's only coming out on Blu-ray and DVD, so no 4K, even though it is a newer film. It may just be that it was on so few people's radar, like myself, that they just decided not to allocate funds towards doing the 4K upgrade. There are very few, if any, special features on here, and it's still a full-priced entry into the collection. There's a conversation between Celine Sciamma and Joachim Trier. There's some trailers and an essay by So Mayer, and that's it. So not a lot, and it's still that $40 entry. I don't know that I would advise anyone outside of a sale buying this. It has a wonderful cover, which is on here right now, most likely. I do really like the cover a lot. But outside of that, there's not a whole lot that we normally attribute to a Criterion Collection entry. But yeah, the movie itself looks good. It's really going to be the strength of the movie alone that drives whether or not people buy this film or not. But yeah, so that's that entry. Do you wanna crawl around a bit? Okay. All right. Well, we've only got one more to go. Okay, and for the final entry into the May 2023 Criterion Collection is 6-time Academy Award nominee, directed by Ridley Scott. This is spine number 1180, and that's Thelma and Louise, starring Susan Sarandon and Gina Davis. There's not a whole lot I can say about this movie that you probably don't already know. I did see this movie a long time ago, pretty short after it came out. So I was probably about 8 or 9 years old when I saw this movie. And I don't remember a whole lot of it, except the ending, because everybody knows the ending of that. I'm not even going to say what the ending is, but it was parodied in Wayne's World 2. Obviously, classic road trip movie. Love a road trip movie. So one thing worth mentioning is that there is no DVD entry to this one. And I do think this is something we're going to continue to see moving forward, especially with the bigger titles. You know, Wall-E, for instance, I don't think had a DVD entry. No, I know for sure it didn't have a DVD entry. Malcolm X didn't have a DVD entry. And this doesn't have a DVD entry. So I think you're really only going to see it with smaller or more obscure films, just to reach a wider audience that way. It's one of those things where we're slowly seeing the very very conscious decision not to to release movies in DVD happening. There are a pretty decent amount of special features on this entry. We've got multiple audio commentaries. That's actually the thing I'm most interested in this. We've got one commentary with not just director Ridley Scott, but also screenwriter Callie Khouri. And then we've got a second audio commentary with Gina Davis and Susan Sarandon. So I'm really excited, actually. I want to check those out. So I don't know if those commentaries are new. They didn't seem new. But what is new is we do have a new interview with Ridley Scott and Callie Khouri. There's a documentary, like an on-set documentary. And then, hey, do you want to lay down? You want to lay down? Okay. Okay, and then lastly on there we've got a short, Boy and Bicycle, which was Ridley Scott's first short. So I'm interested to check that out, but I think it's mostly the audio commentaries that I'm really excited for. Okay, so those are the entries we have for May 2023 for the Criterion Collection. Yeah, I think it's a great, set of films. Again, like I said, I feel like, some people might be disappointed with the amount of entries only being 5, only 3 of those being new ones. But I think as they're upgrading a lot of their existing titles to 4K, that'll be a thing. And then eventually they'll get to a point where, where everything is new again. I'm sure this happened when the upgrade to Blu-ray was happening back, I don't know, 2008. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. I think this is just the nature of the beast. But really, I would like to see some of the ones that are DVD only being upgraded as opposed to ones that are already in Blu-ray being upgraded. What are you seeing back there? Okay. Well, I got to get going. So thank you for joining me. Make it good in all things. Okay, I'm just going to let her do what she does. You do it. You do it. Ow. Ow. Okay. You good? Okay, we're done here.